This video review relates to my first trimester nausea of my second pregnancy. I so wanted this wristband to arrive, then it did, and here's what happened. Welcome back to another healthHackers review. This one is all about my experience with Reliefband. It's wearable technology that the brand says turns off feelings of nausea and vomiting. It's supposed to work by stimulating the underside of the wrist. I will tell you more about that shortly. I ordered a Reliefband during an intensely nauseous first trimester of my second pregnancy, which is this pregnancy. I'm now in my second trimester. I've moved past that nausea and I'm here to share how I got on with the Reliefband device that I tried. I take pride in being transparent with you, so I want you to know I bought a Reliefband. I wasn't gifted it, and the company has not sponsored this video. My product reviews represent good faith and honest opinion. I will be telling you pros and cons as I see them from my personal experience and what I've learned about Reliefband in this video. If you're new to the healthHackers channel, hello, I'm Gemma. I'm a former television journalist from the UK, now a mum in California, making review videos about wellness innovations and interviewing pioneering people in health. If you enjoy this video, I'd love it if you hit the like button or even subscribe and leave me a comment below, because my understanding is all of that can help contribute to making a video more popular. So thank you in advance. And as always, anything on healthHackers should not be considered personal or medical advice. Talk to your healthcare providers about you. Okay, so about Reliefband. On the brand's website here, you can see different models. The one I ordered was called the Reliefband Premier. The technology is supposed to work by gently stimulating the underside of the wrist with pulses that, quote, travel through the nervous system to the part of the brain that controls nausea and vomiting. And as the website goes on to explain, the brain then signals to the stomach to reduce nausea. It's meant to help with different types of nausea. You can see here on the box, motion sickness, morning sickness, chemotherapy, post-operative, physician-diagnosed migraines, anxiety, and hangovers. And as you now know, I ordered it in the hope it would help with my first trimester pregnancy nausea. During my first pregnancy a few years ago, the first trimester nausea and vomiting were incredibly challenging. I was given medication to help manage it, so I wasn't too surprised when the nausea began again in my second pregnancy. I ordered the Reliefband Premier when I was 6 weeks pregnant. I filmed this footage of me at 6 weeks and 3 days pregnant with a sick bag because I planned to make a review video about the Reliefband and I knew I'd want the B-roll. I was carrying sick bags around in case I threw up at random points and places, even though it was mostly consistent nausea rather than ultimate vomiting that I was dealing with. I had been scrolling on my phone and saw an advert for Reliefband, went to DM them on Instagram and saw I had already been in touch with them 4 years ago. I'm guessing it must have been about a potential review back then. 4 years on, I DM'd saying I'd love to review Reliefband on my YouTube channel and include an interview with one of their team members who could explain how the band works. They responded with a contact for PR questions, but I didn't reach out to their contact. In the throes of persistent all-day-long nausea, I wanted to try the band as soon as possible. I also saw a comment on Facebook appearing to be a user suggesting that on the first day of using Reliefband for pregnancy nausea and vomiting, it worked. Given the condition I was in, I ordered a Reliefband with high hopes that it could be transformative for me. I'll explain what happened next, then I'll come on to a roundup of pros and cons as I see them from my experience with the Reliefband. I was so keen for the band to arrive. Both my husband and I had been checking on the delivery status. I had even messaged the company when I saw the tracking hadn't progressed as much as I wanted it to, asking them how many days their shipping to California typically takes. FYI, they told me within the US, please allow 1 to 2 business days for order processing and 3 to 5 business days for delivery once the order ships, adding that in some cases, shipping may take up to 7 to 10 business days, depending on the region and shipping provider. Now, Reliefband offers expedited shipping for an additional $39.99. While I was waiting for my band to arrive, I wrote in my notes for this video that if I could have gone back in time, I would have totally paid that $40 for faster shipping. I wanted relief quickly. But in hindsight, knowing what I know now about my personal experience with the Reliefband, it's just as well I didn't pay the extra. When the band arrived, it took about a week. I was napping in bed with a sick bag close by. I woke up and saw a message on my phone from my husband that read, "Wristband is here, I'm charging it now." He wanted this band to help me as much as I did. When he brought it into our bedroom, we looked at the instructions, and here is actual footage of me trying it out for the first time.
Here is real life footage of me wearing the band. It just arrived. My husband charged it while I was sleeping. I've got it on and I'm literally just waiting for it to work. From my bed, where I've been nauseous.
When I was wearing it in what I understood to be the right position, I felt quick, pulsing, tingling sensations in my palm and down my ring finger. I could control the strength of the stimulation on the device. And this is a good point to show you the process of how I would put the band on. The instructions recommend finding the area between the two tendons on the underside of the wrist, 2 finger widths from the first crease in the wrist, and suggest after cleaning the area, apply a drop of gel. The conductivity gel came with the band, and spread to about the size of a large coin with an even sheen, it's advised. I would put the band on, making sure those metal semicircles on the inside were in contact with the gelled area on my wrist. After turning it on, I could control the power level, which allowed me to increase and decrease the strength of the stimulation. My understanding was that tingling needed to be felt in my palm and middle finger comfortably, although in my notes I had put down that I felt the tingling in my palm and ring finger when wearing. Going back now to that first experience of wearing my Reliefband Premier in my bed on the day it arrived, within the first 20 minutes of wearing it, my husband messaged to see if I'd noticed any improvement. I told him, I can't really tell if it's working yet. Maybe. I definitely feel more positive, like my spirits have been lifted a little, but maybe that's just the optimism. Within my first hour of wearing the band, I wrote in my notes, I wouldn't say I felt a noticeable decrease in nausea. However, I was able to get up and go and have a snack and go out for a walk. I hadn't been out walking for 10 days, so that in and of itself was an improvement, even though when I was in the kitchen having a snack before I went for that walk, I noted that I still found looking at some things in the fridge nauseating. By that evening, on day 1, I had been wearing the band for over 3 hours straight. I hadn't felt a significant improvement in nausea yet, so I messaged Reliefband to find out how long I should continue wearing it before concluding that it didn't work for me. Reliefband customer service came back to me saying, we would recommend allowing 5 to 15 minutes for the therapy to take effect. If you are not feeling results, we do have a 14-day money-back guarantee for returning the device. I had worn it for more than 3 hours straight. So I replied and asked, are you able to advise why it wouldn't be effective for me? Are some people resistant to the signaling that comes from the Reliefband? The response was, unfortunately, like all medications, the Reliefband is not effective for all users. We have found that between 10 to 15% of users do not experience relief with our device. As a result, we have a 14-day money-back guarantee to assist with returns. Still, I persisted in wearing it. On day 2, I noted that I didn't feel like it eliminated the nausea, but I did note feeling like I had a little more of an appetite once I'd been wearing it for a couple of hours, even though I still felt nauseous, which was common when I needed to eat something. I would feel more nausea. On that day, I put down in my notes, I'm walking around the kitchen feeling very nauseous, and I can still feel the tingling from the band in my hand, so I know it should be working right now. It's not. I just feel sick. On day 3, I vomited in the afternoon and decided to try Reliefband one last time that evening. I put it on at 8:35 p.m. I took it off an hour later. Unfortunately, it hadn't got rid of my nausea. So I decided to send the Reliefband back. As part of the returns process, it was requested that I return the Reliefband with the original product box that the device came in, as well as the packing slip. And I was responsible for the return shipping cost. I was also asked to respond with some requested information about my device within 5 days, or I would no longer be eligible for the process. And once I had been assigned a return merchandise authorization number, I was required to provide the brand with my tracking number within 48 hours. I chose to ship from UPS. That cost me $20.14, according to my notes. About a month later, I got an email confirming a refund for the cost of the Reliefband Premier, which I had originally paid $249.99 for. I wasn't able to be refunded the $17.99 I paid for an extra tube of conductivity gel that I had ordered with the device and I had opened. The company explained they were only able to provide refunds on the devices. I get it. Now I want to round up my pros and cons as I see them from what I've learned about Reliefband and what I experienced. And even though unfortunately it appeared it didn't work out for me, I do have some positive points to highlight. I'll round up those now for you and then I'll come on to the cons part of my pros and cons list. So the pros. First up, I like that the device can be used in pregnancy because sometimes it feels like a few things are able to be used in pregnancy. The website says Reliefband is for everyone, including pregnant women, and will not interact with other medications. By the way, back when I DM'd Reliefband on Instagram, I had asked which version of the band is best for pregnancy nausea. They told me all Reliefband models utilize the same technology and are indicated for the same conditions and therefore are identical in effectiveness, so all would work equally well for pregnancy. I like that it's a non-medication option for nausea and sickness that, according to some reviews, does appear to work for some people, and the website claims without side effects. Also, I don't think it looks unsightly or awkward. Anyone might have thought I was wearing some kind of fitness tracker. Next, I have what I would consider to be quite small wrists, and sometimes wristbands in general can be a little too big for me. With the Reliefband Premier, it did seem snug enough for the device to be in contact with the gelled area on my wrist. Next, when my Reliefband Premier arrived, my husband charged it and it only took around an hour, which is less than the recommended time, but my husband said that's all it took before the band showed it was fully charged. And finally, there was a 14-day money-back guarantee, which I was able to utilize when it appeared the Reliefband wasn't able to help me in the way I wanted it to. Cons. Okay, now for my cons of my pros and cons roundup following my experience with Reliefband. First up, the biggie. It sounds like I was part of the 10 to 15% of users that don't experience relief with Reliefband, which was disappointing, but obviously nobody's fault. Next, even though I did get a refund on the device, it was a process, and I had also spent money on the extra gel that I chose to buy, and initial shipping protection and the cost of shipping it back. But I guess that's all part and parcel of being a consumer. While we're talking costs, the price tag of the band I ordered, the Reliefband Premier, does feel a little off-putting in hindsight. It was seemingly meant to cost $279.99, but there was some kind of special offer at the time, so I got it for $249.99. I chose to invest in it because personally I wanted to try a non-medication option for managing the intense nausea during my first trimester this time around. And by the way, everyone's situation is different, medication or other methods. You do you with your providers. Next, I found the band to be uncomfortable for nighttime wear. I didn't wear it overnight as I felt it would knock out of position and then the tingling, pulsating sensations would stop, which made me think it wouldn't be working because my understanding was the tingling sensation meant it was positioned correctly. Finally, I have a history of sensitive skin with various chemicals that I tested positive for skin reactions to in the past, so being able to see the ingredients of any gel or product I put on my skin matters to me. There wasn't an ingredient list on either of the conductivity gels I received. I could have contacted the company about that, but I was so eager to try the Reliefband and see if it could help with my nausea, I started wearing it as soon as possible. I didn't notice any negative skin reactions from the gel across the few days that I used it. I noticed now on the website the gel is described as hypoallergenic. However, I would have liked to have seen an ingredient list for the contents on the bottle or within the box the device came in. And that's it. For anyone watching this video suffering with horrendous pregnancy nausea, I feel for you. I'm sorry for what you're going through. I truly hope you feel better soon. If you've tried Reliefband, what was your experience like? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.